Hello everyone, we are here to go over Record of Ragnarok chapter 109, finishing the double chapters. A fast recap of the previous chapter will occur. To skip the recap, then jump to this time on the screen, or click the time code in the description. Previously on Record of Ragnarok, with the conclusion of round 11, the score is now 5 gods and humanity at 6 with just 1 win from victory. The gods can no longer call this a game with their back against the wall, causing Heimdall to announce that humanity is strong. The gods can't afford to lose. Buddha and Kintoki approach the arena's opening, and Buddha asks if Kintoki is ready for his match. Kintoki laughs and says he honestly has no idea, but boldly states that no matter what happens, he's going to win this. Buddha was a little off-put by that, but believes in Kintoki. More people appear, and it's the supporters for previous fighters who passed away. Kintoki wonders why have they all appeared, and it's because they want to impart something on him. One of Tesla's supporters asks for his hand, grabs it, and shouts some chants. Afterwards, he states Kintoki has received all the power of humanity. He quotes something Tesla would have said: "Science is what illuminated the world, but feelings are what illuminate our hearts." Last thing he asks for is for Kintoki to win so humanity can continue to progress. Lu Bu's squad agrees, since the 5 fallen human fighters' feelings now fall on Kintoki's shoulders. Raiden's group slams their legs down in agreement, saying Raiden will also lend a hand too. Leo's army also prays that Leo's might will aid in Kintoki's battle too. Kintoki, still shocked, stands there while Adam's family approaches him and tells Kintoki to send Odin flying for humanity. Kintoki admits he's not good in these types of situations, but before heading out, he raises his fist and is grateful for their feelings, vowing to shoulder them all. Eve, Adam's wife, prays for Adam to watch over him as he heads off. Heimdall begins Kintoki's intro, questioning if he's a human or a yokai, as he was raised by a Yamenba, wrestled with bears, and slayed a demon king, becoming the greatest demon slayer in the high-end period, with his great strength and battle axe. This time, instead of demon slaying, he is here to slay a god now. Sakata Kintoki from Japan is now here with his unparalleled strength, ready to save humanity, concluding his intro. A girl makes an appearance coming from below the arena floor as she apologizes. This girl is revealed to be the 12th Valkyrie scheduled, who wonders if it's a good idea to have her fight instead of Brunhild. Kintoki eases her doubt by saying if it isn't her, then it can't be anyone else, which makes her happy, and the Volund process commences. Brunhild is impressed that Kintoki, the most beloved man, was able to open up the ultimate introvert Valkyrie in an instant. Zeus appears and takes note of how fired up she is, while also stating that he came here to see Gaul's expression but sees that she isn't here. He then honestly asks if Brunhild really thinks that she can win against Odin. She states that she'd never pick a fighter thinking they would lose, especially with Kintoki being her anti-Odin fighter at full power now thanks to Schedule's rune power, Axe Time. Kintoki and the audience member loves Kintoki's new axe, causing the humans to believe that they could really win. For the first time in their 7 million years, they believe that they would see the day that humanity surpassed the gods. However, the atmosphere instantly became suffocating to everyone, with some stating they can't breathe as black clouds gather. Brunhild and Buddha know that Lord Odin has finally arrived and is ready to battle. With Odin's arrival causing everyone to feel hopeless, will Kintoki also begin to give up, or will he stand strong and defeat the supreme god? This chapter starts exactly where 108 left off, with Odin and his 4 wings entering the arena, floating above the masses. The gods are shocked, beginning to recognize exactly who that is. Odin continues to exude immense pressure in the atmosphere, causing Kintoki to give an anxious expression, followed by Heimdall commenting on the immense pressure and feeling the need to flee. However, he stands his ground as he can't run from his purpose of being an announcer. He begins Odin's intro and tells everyone to pay attention and gaze upon Odin, who has now arrived and will descend. All the god spectators start to pray and chant Odin's name. Odin, the one who presides over war and death, all-knowing, and all gods should tremble before the supreme god of Valhalla, Midgard, and Helheim. He goes by many names, over 200 in fact, with the gods chanting some. Har Odin, the High One, Alfardir Odin, the Allfather, Grimnir Odin, the Hooded One, Eager Odin, the Terrible One, and Runatyr Odin, God of Runes. Anything that faces the end of his spear, the legendary demon spear Gungnir, shall be destroyed. Odin has once swept through battlefields with soldiers as if he commanded a godless wasteland. Odin finally touches down on the arena, and his birds that acted as the wings exit his body and fly off, stating for the humans to beg for forgiveness for defying the gods. The supreme god of the Norse pantheon throws his cape away and begins to emit an ominous aura. His left eye is revealed as aura emits from it, and he begins to transform. It finishes and he assumes a younger form with a new armor set with some black color now in his hair. All the humans are shocked and tremble at his new form. Even just looking at him is making everyone shake, finding it impossible to win or even put up a fight. The spectator gods revel at his new form, stating it's their first time seeing it and they can't even breathe. Both humanity and even the gods instinctively understood that Odin, the supreme god, is sacred and inviolable. Both Zeus and Brunhild agree that they've never seen this form either, as others watch cautiously. Heimdall announces to fight while Odin and Kintoki stare down each other. Kintoki lifts his axe as Odin states he wondered who he would be fighting and calls Kintoki an insect who is nothing more than Buddha's errand boy. However, he knows that Brunhild is a cheeky girl and she chose him to defeat Odin, so he's curious about this so-called strength he has as he assumes a stance. Kintoki repeats his supreme god title and replies that he has such an overblown nickname. Odin stops for a second and Kintoki claims that he knows Odin's despair as his hand starts to glow with a bright symbol. Upon recognition, Odin is shocked to see that Kintoki has that rune, and Kintoki reveals that he also inherited the will of Gulnir, making Odin shake in his boots. Final thing Kintoki states is he doesn't know what he's planning to do upon the resurrection of the primordial gods, but every drop of blood in him is saying that he must stop Odin at all costs as his aura begins to envelop him, bringing this chapter to an amazing close for now. Alright, so last chapter was all Kintoki and this one was all Odin with his introduction, and yeah, Kintoki might be cooked. This dude continued to admit that Aizen levels spiritual pressure aura farming with those wings, and even the god spectators chanted his name while praying. Do you understand how crazy that is? Not even Poseidon commanded that level of respect, and many were feared to even look him in the eye. Then he goes and transforms into his battle form, and at first I wasn't too sure about it, but honestly it's grown on me quite a bit. Certainly not what I expected, but nice. I wonder, since he was going to fight Buddha and Beelzebub, why didn't he transform? Probably because he viewed him as fodder, or maybe to preserve energy as well. Who knows? I'm probably going to assume it's the latter, to save energy. Probably also similar to why Kintoki maybe never went all in on those guards when he went to Tartarus. This god though really put the fear in everyone, even had Zeus surprised, which makes even me surprised that Zeus was unaware of this form. However, Thor had somewhat of a blank expression, almost like sad. I don't know how else to put it, but let me know what y'all think of that one. Now, finally, the big moment of the chapter, the Golnir rune. So as of now, all we know about this is he's referring to the book of Golnir that Beelzebub found, talking about the resurrection of the primordial gods. Golnir, if I had to guess, might be some previous god that tried to resurrect the primordial gods with Odin and realized it's a mistake. Sounds like Golnir isn't around, obviously, so maybe Odin killed him/her, and before then they imparted their will, which is to stop the resurrection. Then Kintoki inherited that will somehow, which is probably why Kintoki knows about the despair Odin feels. Golnir might have also been really strong to stop Odin, which is also why he's shocked to see it with Kintoki. And Kintoki himself is just following up on that will, since his blood is literally telling him to stop Odin. The book also does talk about, as Beelzebub said, the one who knew the method of the revival as well as the one who deemed it forbidden, and the book is titled The Book of Golnir. So we're assuming once again that Golnir was probably down to revive the primordial gods, but then, as I said earlier, he or she was the same person who probably was like, no, I actually deem this as forbidden. And that's probably where the whole fight probably happened between Golnir and Odin. That's all my speculation, so I might be right, might be wrong. Let me know what you guys think as well. Where Gal the Valkyrie fits into all this? Well, the only thing I know is that she is the final piece to stop Odin's plan. So maybe she also inherited something from Golnir, or she could be Golnir resurrected as well, like a reincarnation. Once again, all speculation, and we can only find out more as the chapters are released. So with that being said, that's all I have for this month's chapter. Comment below your thoughts and like and subscribe if you haven't already. Your support is always well appreciated. Thank you. I'll catch y'all later. Stay safe out there and be good people. Peace.